Good morning. Welcome back to the Red Mic. Happy Thursday. Thanks for being here. Today's Red Mic message: the farmer who went home. George Washington could have been king. I'm not just being dramatic or even hyperbolic. There was a real fear that he would accept a lot of the calls for him to become king. It might even have been a real temptation for him. He had led the army, he had won the war, he had the loyalty of the troops, he had the reputation, the stature, and he had the moment. Plenty of men in history have looked at that combination and seen a throne. Washington saw a farm. So in 1783, after the Revolution was won, he resigned his commission and surrendered power back to Congress. He didn't hold the army over the country. He didn't demand a crown. He did not declare himself indispensable. Instead, he went home to Mount Vernon. Now, later, after serving as the first president of the United States, he did it again after serving 2 terms, which until FDR was kind of the precedent. No one served more than 2. Washington's farewell address, which was shaped with help from both Alexander Hamilton and James Madison, it wasn't a victory lap. He used it as a warning, a blessing, and a goodbye. At the beginning of his address, Washington wrote that he had formed the resolution to decline being considered among the number of those out of whom a choice is to be made. In other words, he was telling the American people that he was done, he was leaving. Now, later, he explained that choice and prudence invite me to quit the political scene. Those words are great because they're voluntary. No one forced him out. No election defeated him. No scandal ended his career. The man who could have kept power as long as he wanted chose willingly to give it back. In that address, he warned against factions. He warned against foreign influence, against division, against forgetting that the Union mattered more than the passions of the moment. But I think maybe the most powerful part of Washington's farewell was not what he said, it was that he simply left. Power surrendered voluntarily is, well, it's one of history's rarest virtues. Power surrendered voluntarily is different than power lost. It's different from being defeated, pushed out, term limited, or exposed. Washington left when people still wanted him to stay. That's an amazing show of character, of leadership, because the greatest leaders know when to leave. They know when the mission is bigger than their title. They understand that if everything depends on them staying forever, then they didn't build a republic, an organization, a team, or a legacy. They built a dependency. Washington's greatness was not only that he led America through war, it was that he trusted America enough to walk away. He closed his farewell address looking forward to that retreat where he could enjoy the benign influence of good laws under a free government. The man who could have ruled chose instead to become a citizen again, to go back to his farm, to be a planter. Now, history remembers him for winning the war, for founding the presidency, and to a much lesser degree, then doing what almost no one else in history has done, knowing when to let go and walk away. That's today's Red Mike message. Hope you found it interesting or helpful. I hope you've enjoyed these looks at what our founding fathers did this week, leading up to the 250th anniversary of this country, coming this weekend on July 4th. Tomorrow, hashtag Fun Friday, I'm going to talk about Washington again, but I'm going to talk about his wild side. I hope you'll join me. Thanks for being here. Please give me a like, a follow, and a share. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, don't forget, as always, life is short. Drink the bourbon. I'll see you.